Searching for the right files should not be painful, and by using Adobe Bridge to create and edit data, such as metadata and the keywords, you can effectively find files quickly and easily. Add to the mix the new filter panel and you can't lose, really. So, I have returned back to the Essentials view by clicking on Essentials up in the Control panel, and I have also gone to Window, Workspace, and reset my workspace. And this is because in the last lesson, you finished up in the Output view. So, starting with this, I'm clicking on one of my images, and I am going to open up the right side of this window by pulling on the bar to the left, and you'll see that I have a Metadata tab. And in this metadata, I have all sorts of information about the selected image. Like, for instance, the name, what type of file it is, when it was created, the file size, the PPI, bit depth, the fact that it's RGB, the creator name information. Now notice the difference here. No pencil up here, pencil down here. The IPTC core information has a pencil to the right because that means that you can edit this information. So like, for instance, I can click on Creator City and I can type in Woburn, Mass. And as I scroll down, I can add additional information as much as I want, including copyright notice. Now here's some information that travels with your file in the XMP format, and it is called the camera data or the EXIF information. You may not be aware of this, but when you use your digital camera, there is certain information that is traveling along with your image. Information such as what max aperture value you were at, whether your flash fired, whether your white balance was turned on or not, all sorts of information, including the type of camera that was used. You can see that this was the Canon PowerShot camera. Now, moving on, you'll also see that there are additional sets of information in here that you can fill in, such as audio. I'm going to turn that arrow up. Video, turn that up. DICOM if you're doing medical imagery. And mobile SWF for flash files that would be used on mobile devices. So you might just come in here and simply add copyright information and the creator name, especially if you're a photographer and that's important to you. Now, something that's really helpful is this. What if I have 1,000 images in here? I have this one image in particular selected. I can go in, I can create all the metadata for this particular image, and then I can apply it to all of my images at once. This is by using a metadata template. So I have this image selected. I filled in the information that I want over in the metadata panel. I choose Tools, Create Metadata Template. If you get this window, it's because you made a change in the metadata panel. So yes, you want to apply any changes. And I can add additional information here. I can say, yes, I want the creator information in here, the creator job title, creator city I want in here, and the state. Now I can scroll through and determine what other information I want to include as well. I'll close all these up. And this might be all that I want in all of my images. So up at the top, the template name is untitled. I'm going to call this music and save it. Okay, so I want to apply this metadata template to all of my images that were taken at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So I select my first image, shift click on the last. I'm holding down my Control or Command key and deselecting my InDesign and Illustrator file. I don't want them associated with this metadata. I can then go back up to Tools and I can say Replace the metadata. Now, append metadata will add additional metadata but keep the original metadata that is included on the image. Replace metadata will make them all the same. So if I choose Replace metadata, and I click back on any one of these images, they now have the same metadata included in them. Why is it helpful to have all this metadata? Well, you'll see, because I'm going to add keywords too, but the real huge help with locating information by using the metadata is the filter panel that's off to the right, and also the new and improved search menu that's available in Bridge. So let me add some keywords and I'll show you how that works. I click on one image in particular and I'll click on the Keywords panel. Now in the Keywords panel there are some default keywords that are available that you may or may not use. Probably not, but I want to create my own keywords for this particular image so that I can find it easily. In the Keywords panel, down on the bottom is a plus sign, New Keyword. I click on that. I'll type in that I want a keyword called guitar. I'll check it to apply it to this particular image. Now, this image has an associated keyword of guitar. Now, let's say that I want to take this image and also apply the guitar keyword. It's been added. I can just click on it to add guitar as a keyword for this image. But I also might want a sub keyword, and this might be flame. Now, once I've added that, I can check that I also want flame attached to this particular image. So by adding keywords, I can now identify these files a little bit easier. Let me show you how. In Adobe Bridge, there is a filter panel. In this filter panel, I can identify my images in a particular folder by the metadata or keywords, and also by information such as rating. So you'll notice that in the filter panel, I've got ratings, file type, keywords, date created. I'm going to close all these up for right now, orientation. And let me go back to something as simple as keywords. Notice that keywords that are applied to images in this folder are automatically listed in this keywords panel. So like for instance, I can click on guitar and every image that has the guitar keyword attached to it will appear. Or just flame by clicking on flame and unchecking guitar. Or show me all of the no keywords or show me everything. Now, another thing that's really helpful with the filter panel is that I can also look at all the metadata. So I can quickly see, hey, which images were created on 8/6/2009. And then, of course, I can uncheck that to bring everything back again. One of my favorite parts of the filter panel is this simple little part that is called file type. Hey, I know I have an Illustrator document in here someplace, but if I have to scroll through 1,000 images, I will just scream. So click on Illustrator document and it appears in Design document. Now notice I'm clicking again to deselect it so that I can see all of the images again. But this is a quick and easy way of you identifying where your files are. Now finally, searching, Control F or Command F if you're on the Mac. You can choose by several different types of criteria. You might even want to choose by keywords or description or copyright notice. I might want to choose copyright notice and say, tell me whether one exists or not, and then choose find. Copyright notice exists in Chapter 2 and in all subfolders, so it looks like these have all had copyright notices attached to them. But I could have easily selected where one doesn't exist so that I could quickly apply copyright and make sure it's right before I'm done. So hopefully you've discovered some really great ways to help you to identify your files using metadata and keywords, and also to use the filter and search menu to find those files when you need them.